We're supposed to be on the grind.
What up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Friday. We up in here, and you see, I ain't by myself. I got my brethren in arms, Mr. Patrick, Jamiroquai, Irvin, up in the building. What's going on? What's going on? What it is, Pat?
No much, man. I'm chilling on this Friday of the Black Variety.
Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? It's good. Yeah, it is Black Friday, but I don't be knowing. I don't be keeping up with none of this stuff, but it is Black Friday. So what's up, chat? How y'all doing? Everybody out there watching in YouTube land, how y'all doing? Welcome to On the Shows of Giants. This is our first live breakdown Friday, right?
What you talking about, Joe? We be live all the time. Every breakdown is live.
So welcome. We appreciate y'all being up in here with us. I know y'all wondering where PC at. PC had to take care of PC today. PC had to take care of PC. So shout out to PC and make sure you take care of yourself, my brother. And we're gonna hold it down for him. But you know, we here, Joseph Ward, Patrick Irvin, and this is Breakdown Friday. You see the thumbnail, you see the title of the show, and we are getting into a sensitive topic for a lot of people. And you're gonna see with the videos that we show, because we're dealing with we're examining rather the issue of not necessarily issue, but the experiences of biracial people who will have specifically a black dad and a white mom. And it's interesting that I come across the videos to create this topic because I was in Walmart maybe a week or two ago. And as I was leaving out of Walmart, I came across this young lady who was on her phone just going off. Whatever was happening between her and the people on her phone, she was cussing them out. They was cussing her out. Somebody called her a bitch, and they was ready to fight. And it was interesting because she was doing all of that in front of her mother. And I paid attention a little more, and it was a biracial young lady, black dad, white mother. And one of the thoughts that popped in my head was, I wonder, I wonder if some biracial people feel they need to prove themselves to black people. And some behavioral patterns that may be exhibited are behavior patterns often that I've observed, and I'm just talking straight anecdotal from what I've observed on my, up in Tallahassee, Florida, that a lot of biracial people that I've seen, specifically black dad, white mom, they exhibit behaviors that seem like they try to prove themselves to black people, but also exhibit behaviors of more so the more ghetto black people, especially if they grew up in those environments as well. So of course they're going to exhibit those behaviors, but exhibiting behaviors of people trying to prove themselves. And it's interesting because when I come across these videos, I'm listening to biracial people give their experiences, and basically they're saying that they're dealing with identity issues. Some of them, not all, but a number of them dealing with biracial issues, and it's specifically black dad, white mom. And so before we get to the videos and stuff, like what are some of your experiences, Pat, and what are your like opening thoughts on this topic and everything?
Black dad, white mom,
specifically black dad, white mom.
I got a lot of thoughts. I mean, it makes sense that biracial people would be dealing with. And let me say this: I'm not biracial.
Yeah, me neither.
In that way. But I think it makes sense that they would be dealing with identity crisis, of course. Um, Moms tend to be the inculcators of culture,
Right.
and so they're dealing with that. But then there's also, especially depending on like if they present with black features, there's also that aspect of it. Their ability to pass comes into play. Um, so I think you got a bunch of different things at work, and then I think even in society, like the way that the grooming happens. Most of the prominent black leaders that we think about historically have been biracial. So, there's that aspect of it that comes into play as well. And then I do think there's a kind of a need to compensate at
Right.
work. We've all had the anecdotal experience of the most militant person in the room.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Typically not the most melanated person in the room.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and it's not to disparage it or anything like that, but those are just some of my initial thoughts. It was like, well, yeah, it makes sense that they would present differently than white mom or black moms and white dads. It
Yeah.
also makes sense that they would present with an identity crisis. A lot of things make sense when you just think about it logically, at least from my perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that being said, I have 3 sets of videos that we're gonna show today. And so our main video that we're breaking down is from Dr. Jared Ball. He and another guy is having a conversation. I'm not sure if Dr. Jared Ball is of mixed race, but I know the gentleman he was talking to is, and they're having a conversation within their realm. I'm also showing videos from other mixed race people, specifically black dad, white mom, who are giving their experiences. But before we get to that, of course, it's Breakdown Friday. We live, we got to show love to the chat. So Shaka Guru, I guess Shaka Guru was responding to the question or the title is, does Black America have a biracial problem? He's saying yes. I'm examining it. I don't know. But shout out to Battle Ganja up here, up in the chat. My brother, welcome back. How you doing, my brother? I see Nemesis X up in here. How you doing, Nemesis? I appreciate you, my brother. Who else we got? Ricardo Float, my main man Ricardo up in here. Y'all see, I got my man Pat up in here too, man. Door of L, how you doing, my brother? Bungani, how you doing? MMR Enterprises, how you doing? And so Nemesis says the term you're looking for, Joe, is considered cultural emulation, the desire to fit in, meet, or exceed the exception of the group, the expectation of the group, or perception of the group. Study in demographics. I can rock with it. So he says many have displaced by myriad of issues, mainly religious, female abuse, artist abuse, and chastised disenfranchisement. These yield confusion and vacant esteem and radically defenseless stud. I think I get what you're saying, but I know we're dealing with identity issues. Now, when I first saw the video with Dr. Jared Ball, my first thought was it went to Chancellor Williams, Destruction of Black Civilization, the chapter he had about the biracial issue that they had in Africa. That's the first thing I went to. But when I started watching the videos, I was like, well, let's make it more relevant to what we're dealing with up here in America. So it says the joke is on the I can't get my damn words out. Psychosocially damaged child that as many studies allude have biological valuabilities, and the father, even after awakening, is bullied by those unaware of the totality of that racism. Yeah, I mean, I guess the question is, if you're a black man and you are pursuing a white woman, do you vet her family and their values before you make a baby with her? Like, would you do that?
I don't think anybody's doing that.
But because when you listen to these people giving their experiences, a lot of them are giving experiences of, well, my own family is projecting racism upon me. So there's no vetting. That's a problem though, ain't it? You tell me, help me out. I don't know. What you think? Like, is that like you're bringing children into a realm, an environment where their skin tone, their physical features, their phenotype, the 23 of their chromosomes comes from a group of people that they look down upon, and you bring this person into this family. Psychologically, that's gonna have an effect, right?
I mean, yeah, but people aren't. When people engage in romantic encounters, they rarely think about the future or the environment that encounter is going to exist in, and that's just across the board. So, of course, in a
Like,
scenario like where you have something as severe and impactful as race in America, people are scared to broach that topic, even amongst people of their own race. You know, so in that situation, bringing it up to a romantic partner, I think both sides try to err on the side of safety and comfort,
mm-hmm.
and they just don't want to talk about it, and so they don't. And there's very little thought given. And then there's this belief that this person that you've chosen to be with, to procreate with, is going to back you, and that their family is either just going to fall in line or just going to go away. So even in that, there's no real thought put to, well, what does this do to the child if they're growing up in a family and they can't go spend time with their grandparents or with their cousins or their aunties or their uncles because they're racist. So
Yeah.
that, like, that whole piece is not considered at all.
Right. No, it's not. It's not considered at all. And I think that's one of the problems. And you and Nemesis, y'all both y'all hitting on it. Like, we don't vet within our own culture. We don't vet within our own family. We don't vet within our own realm. So we damn sure not vetting on outside realms. But that is a problem, especially if you're producing children. And the environment definitely matters to the child, especially when it comes to their psychological and their emotional makeup. So how I view myself, how I identify, it matters. And what am I identifying with? It matters. And if I feel like half of me I can't identify with, because that's what they're expressing, a lot of them expressing this. Because, matter of fact, I saw a post the other last night, just a matter of fact. The young lady was saying that she believes one half of her is at war with the other half of her because black dad, white mom, coming from a family who has a racist background. So
Yeah, and not even to minimize that, but because that's something we can all relate to. And I think that's something when we have these conversations as well, we got to think about, like, the severity of the struggle, because everybody goes through life, especially early on in life, with this internal battle going. There's always some part of you fighting with some other part of you. You know,
right.
if you are the anime nerd, at least back in the 80s and 90s, that desire to be excited about cartoons was battling with that desire to want to be cool in school. So,
Well, yeah.
and so with that, I think and I say that to kind of connect it so that everybody can kind of relate, because I think a lot of times people think their struggles are different, or like nobody else is going through it. And yeah, other people are going through those same things. It's just in a different arena, but it's the same struggle. And then I think a lot of biracial kids that I've talked to, they feel like if they weren't black, they wouldn't have, or if they weren't biracial, they wouldn't have any kind of internal struggles whatsoever.
Right.
So even correcting that, no, you would still have an internal
It
struggle.
just be a different struggle.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But all of that to me kind of makes sense. So, and I just wanted to say that because I do feel like we spend a lot of time when we're talking about the biracial issue, othering them and making them feel like what they got going on is different. No, everybody is going through what y'all are going through. It's just in a different arena. And so I don't know that really has any bearing on the biracial problem. I think it's more of a cultural thing, because I think if a black man and a white woman get together and have a child, and they're is a united space in terms of the culture that that child is going to exist in. Well, you're still in America, so you're still going to have that. But I think that that internal struggle, black white, could be minimized a little bit.
And yeah, and I from what I've heard, a lot of them expressing, and some of the conclusions that I've gathered, and it's just conclusion. I'm not saying I'm right, but say, you know, white, you grow up in black dad, white mom, and the white mom, if she is intentional about making sure the child learns about their blackness, I think that could help a bit. I don't know if that will fully help, because I would have to talk to someone who's been in that predicament, but that may help a bit, you know.
I've talked to people that have been in that predicament, and the two things that I hear most frequently is being raised to be black, to acknowledge like your blackness, also being raised to acknowledge your whiteness, and your mother acknowledging her whiteness. Like all of those things come into play with helping the child feel more safe and secure in who they are.
Right. So let me hold it right there. We're gonna kick it. We just jump right into it. Welcome to Breakdown Friday. Joseph Ward, Patrick Irvin, Professor Carl Tone Jones couldn't make it today, but big shout out to PC. We're gonna see him back on the show very soon. But we're here today breaking down this, or analyzing the experiences of biracial people, who specifically black dad, white mom. And so I have a first video that I'm going to show, because I'm not, neither one of us are biracial, and so we can't speak to that experience, but we're analyzing the experiences of others, and others telling us about what they've gone through, what they've experienced, and how they see the world. So this first video that I have, we're going to let it play, then we're going to give our analysis on what they're saying. So thank you to everybody who's tuning in. Please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share. Please stay in the comments. Please hit that as a Q&A. I mean a poll up. Please hit that poll. There's the super chat. The super chat goes up, and so the goal is 10 super chats today. We do 10 super chats. We're going to do a Q&A session where y'all can ask me all types of questions that we can get it in. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's get into this first video. Please hit that like button.
Mother, for example, and a black dad. A white mother, for example, and a black dad. I knew my dad would understand the racial slurs that are thrown at me. My mum couldn't understand it. So I couldn't really speak to my mum about it. She was loving, but she had never been educated within it. She didn't know anything about black history and slavery, and so it was a very difficult, but I had love there, which was the most important thing. Yeah. But in the racing, it was like, you know, like kids, you just want to enjoy yourself, you want to be included, and you know, when you're kind of outcast a little bit, it's difficult for kids, you know. And so that's why today, like, I'm like, if I'm posting something, I hope that when I do click that button, I hope that it is a positive wave for some of the kids out there that are being distracted by all the stuff that's going on around the world.
I've been seeing people talk about black people with white moms and black dads. Actually, it was a while ago. I'm a little late, but that's what I am. I'm mixed, and my mom's white, my dad is black. And to be real, I will never blame my dad for my disconnection from the black community, because the reason he's disconnected from the black community is straight up because of survival. That man grew up a sharecropper. He started working tobacco fields when he was 5. He grew up, my grandma had 20 babies, and 16 of them survived, 14 of them survived, sorry. 3 sets of twins died, so 14 of them survived. And they all grew up in a one-room cabin working on the plantation that they had historically been working at. This was in the deep south, panhandle of Florida. And that's what he was coming up at it. And he made it out. He went to West Point, he joined the military. And now he's mad successful. Like, he's doing fantastic. And he deserves every bit of that. And part of how he was able to survive, what undoubtedly was quite a bit of mental anguish, was assimilating. You know? Like, he has forcibly put himself in a post-racial world. Like, that's how he conceives of things. He genuinely says, he's like, there's so many reasons people could hate me and mistreat me, and only one of them is my skin, so I'm just not even gonna raise it as an issue. And that has worked for him. And I don't blame him for that at all. My mom, on the other hand, who is an immigrant from Germany, she married into my dad's family and had, I hope it's not too many for y'all to hear this is wild, but she had every opportunity to try to educate herself. You know, she got her American citizenship, but she chose to educate herself on the things that confirmed what she already believed to be true about the United States, that it's the land of opportunity, the American dream, everything like that. And she harbors some mad anti-blackness. And I internalized a lot of that. And yeah, I hold her more responsible for that than my dad. And maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's just because of the soft spot I have for my dad. But that is genuinely how I feel. My mom is one of those people who has this idea that there's one right way to live, and if everyone were to live that way, everyone would be happy and the world would be great. And of course, it's the Christian conservative way, right? Yeah, she internalized that. She tried to get me to internalize that. I did not. I do not believe that. But those are my thoughts on that. I can't blame my dad. And maybe that's wrong, maybe that's just me, but I can't bring myself to blame him for my disconnection from my community.
So being biracial with the white mom is trending right now, and I just want to jump on this wagon. Dear black people, do you not see how harmful this is? Like, do you not? Let me give you some examples. You don't know what it's like to grow up mixed, because you don't realize that a lot of us deal with racism since day one all the time, and these are supposed to be with people that love us, aka our families. A lot of people on my mom's side of the family were Aryan Nation skinheads. I didn't know what the fuck that was as a kid. And I didn't understand why everybody looked at me different, or why there was certain people in my family that just would never say hello to me or my dad or my mom because they were disgusted. And I didn't understand that as a kid. I didn't get it. I thought I had something on my face the way they were looking at me. You know how hard it is to nonstop be told, like, wow, you have your mom's face with just dark skin, with a look of disgust on their face while they say it, and not know why they feel disgusted to say such things? It's confusing. You gain a complex and you just don't feel beautiful no matter how gorgeous you are. You change yourself. I straightened my hair every single day in high school so that people wouldn't run their fingers through my hair or try to pull my afro when I walked in the hallway. Like, there are so many things that we did to adjust to suburbia. Or how about going to school with my siblings who are white and I'm not? And everyone asking me if I was adopted from Africa as a joke because I'm the only black one. You know how much that fucking sucked? Like, nonstop being denied my own mother being my mother because of my skin color. Like, it was crazy.
What you got to say? What you got to say? Go ahead.
She's basically proving the point I made earlier. Yeah, none of those experiences she just listed are unique to mixed people. Like, I know straight black people, 100% black, that have gone through all those same experiences, every last single one of them. Mm-hmm. So I was called the African booty scratcher growing up as a kid. So you were adopted from Africa, I was an African booty scratcher. It's kind of the same thing. So like, what are we doing? But this is the part where I'm like, everybody wants to feel like they struggle is so much more than everybody else's.
So nobody listening.
Right. And baby girl, you straighten your hair. Have you looked around and seen how many black women have straight hair? Yeah. Have you not seen the discourse of black people saying, don't touch my hair?
Right. I mean, well, I think somebody said it in the chat earlier, but like we're all dealing with identity issues. All us black folk dealing with identity issues here in America. So they have a different type of identity issue because they're trying to figure out which one that they can identify with. But we trying to, historically we just been trying to identify as humans.
Because even the second girl, And all of these people are giving their parents passes that they shouldn't be given. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like
some of maybe not this video, but another video. Some of them wasn't giving their parents passes, but you are right though in these, yeah.
Well, in the first video, the guy was talking about I can't even remember, but in the second video, the girl is talking about her dad chooses to live in a post-racial society, and her mom chooses to exist in a world where if everybody just lives a certain way, they all agree. She doesn't blame her dad, but she blames her mom. They both seem like they have the same worldview. They both seem like they like, yeah. So your dad also chooses not to acknowledge race in America, the same as your mom. But you choose to give your dad a pass because he was a sharecropper born from a family of, I don't know how old she is, first off. You know, I'll be honest. Part of me was like, I don't believe her, because I'm also from the panhandle of Florida.
Well, and that's why I was like, we here too, but yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's not a lot of functioning plantations that still have the sharecroppers.
Well, yeah, I mean,
that were working the land as slaves on them.
Right. So I will say this though, depending on what she's talking about in the panhandle of Florida, she did grow up in some pretty racist areas. We can't say that.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do think, you know, baby girl, I would say, unless you finna tell me you like 40 or 50 years old, 60 years old, maybe.
Yeah.
Your dad probably lied to you.
Yeah.
And that's if you're not lying to us. If that's actually what he told you, it's a chance. I'm not saying for certain, it's a chance he was lying.
Well, see, this comment on the screen, it's a interesting comment. It's a good point as well. But it's also interesting because I saw a comment earlier. Someone was saying that a lot of times the black side may not fully accept the mixed person, but we do have some people who come from the experiences where most of these mixed race people are identifying as black, and they're identifying as black because those are the people who, like the comment said, took them in. Those are the people who showed them love, while the white side more so rejected them. It's kind of like going what she's saying. Like they're looking for that. They're looking for that love. They're looking for that acceptance. They're looking for that identity. Now, the black side is accepting them and they're identifying as black, but they still know that they have half of them that has not been accepted by the other side, and that's affecting their worldview.
Well, and I think that also speaks to, because I do remember what the first guy said. He said his mom didn't really bother to try to educate herself.
Right.
But she gave him love, and that's the most important thing. And I disagree with that. I do think love is important, but I think when you're raising children, especially children in this environment, it is just as important to raise them with a sense of understanding, identity, empathy, and all of these other things so that they can formulate an identity. Love alone does not, like, and this is where we got to talk about it. What does that say?
My bad. MMR Enterprises says they're light skinned and they got called the African booty scratcher as well.
Yeah. So again, everybody's having these experiences, but I think like I was saying, the copium in it. Like the dude is saying, my mom gave me love. That's to try to prevent so that he don't have to call her out. So he's gonna spin it to the positive.
No, yeah, it's definitely a shield, a barrier.
Yeah, and that's why things continue to be what they are. That's why every generation parenting gets worse and worse and worse, in my opinion. But that's a whole nother subject.
Yeah. So Dora Vale said, what community was the mixed persons who couldn't pass living in? What you mean? I'm lost.
They were living in the black community.
I don't know. I'm lost.
Well, I mean, if you couldn't pass, you were living in the black community. I think though too, a lot of mixed race people, let's be honest, let's be clear here. the black kids, let's be just being totally honest, black people are the cool kids on the block.
Yeah.
So
that was one of my thoughts earlier. Like, yeah,
no, and I think that's real. Like, if we're gonna have a conversation, let's have a conversation. I think a lot of kids, if you were to give them a choice nowadays, or even going back 20, 30, 40 years, give them the choice. Would you rather be a black kid or a white kid? I think most kids would say they would rather be a black kid. The real benefits to whiteness, they're there when you're younger, but you don't really recognize them until you get older.
Right. I don't know about Meet Your Ex and Zaza Ali. I'm not sure. I guess, are they mixed race? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I go to work and go home.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah,
I know celebrities.
Yeah. It says that's his point. They lived. Okay, gotcha. He's saying that's his point, that the black community was the ones accepting, and they lived in the black community. Gotcha.
Well, but even before we toot our horns too loud on that, though, black people are, like we accept everybody. I will say that.
That's our gift and curse.
Yeah, and that's where I was going. That's the problem. We accept everybody.
Now that is, but that makes me go back to thinking about destruction of black civilization and that chapter that Chancellor Williams had, and because of our acceptance of everybody, that created a mixed race of people at that time in that region that did not turn out to be a group of people who were an ally to the black folk, and they actually ended up helping I guess the parent that they identified with the most.
But that goes back to what I was saying earlier, though. The benefits of whiteness really do kick in as you get older. And so as a lot of these people get older, the ones that can lean into it start to lean into it. And I think that's where you have a community that's created, sheltered a bunch of people that are going to grow up and become people that are not allies to that community, in the black community. So, but even in that, what we view as acceptance in a lot of cases isn't the same as what mixed race kids view as acceptance, primarily because it seems like everybody, and I'm gonna keep going back to this, everybody want to be a victim. So in the black community, you'll have a bunch of mixed race people saying the black people was teasing me and the white people was mean to me. What the black people tease everybody.
That's what we do.
Literally.
We play the dozens.
But we think we're accepting them and showing them love, and they view it as being ostracized and attacked.
Well, so I thought about that. So now it was funny because yesterday was at my pop's house, and as soon as we stepped through the door, me and my dad, my brothers, we just going at each other. Like, soon as we stepped through the door, and I just left my mom's house, and we were just going at it back and forth. Like, in my house, we grew up we grew up in the house with black moms. Like, we play the dozens. We shoot jokes at each other. And if you just made me think, if you're not growing up in an environment with a black mother, if you come into black environments, but those not the environments that you eat, sleep, live, pray, and all those things in, you're not gonna be fully versed on everything. You're still having a sort of an outsider's view of the culture.
Right. And that's even if you, and that's just being in an environment where black culture is at the forefront, because even in black male-led households or single black father households, which I now know of 2 or 3 of them, they still do that, and dads be the ones getting on their kids. So, but I think that's what I'm speaking to. And even culturally outside of the lens now, there's this shift in therapy now where a lot of people are saying that because we played the dozens, we've mentally abused our children. Because we, and the dozens is so old school. But because like in Florida, we can get on, I'm gonna get on your ass, boy.
I'm gonna let you have it. Right.
Hey, but they're saying we're abusing our children, or our children are abusing each other, or it's psychological, all these other things. No, that's you misunderstanding the culture. That's how we show love. if I ain't getting on you, if you around me and I ain't saying nothing to you and I ain't getting on you, I probably don't like you.
Well, that's how we show love. But once again, you have to be of the culture to understand that. And I do agree with this comment too, Jackson Michael Epps. Like, people do need to get themselves together before they have kids. But I think that's one of the problems, not just in our community, but in America. But since we're focusing on our community, that's one of the problems in our community. A lot of people aren't making sure they're in the best place physically, psychologically, all these things. It ain't grown up.
Look, man, but I want to hear, because I agree with it, but I also want to point out how crazy that is to say. You need to be healed before you fuck. Before you start fucking, you need to make sure that you're healed. Who's gonna do that? Like, realistically,
realistically, nobody's gonna do that. Trust me. 15 years safe sex work that I did. Nobody's realistically going to do that. Of course, that's the idea. And so one of the biggest issues in our community is the idea of what we should be doing is over here. Right. What we actually doing.
It ain't even in the room with you, Joe.
You know what I'm saying? And that's some of our biggest issues.
But so the question becomes, how do you close that gap? How do we?
People have to give a damn.
Yeah, well,
because at the end of the day, it comes back to the human being. The human beings making the choice to say, you know what, I'm gonna do better, and us as a collective, we're gonna do better. Until we give a damn. And honestly, you know, we talk about it all the time. Our insanity, the way we're programmed, we ain't programmed to do that though. We're programmed to operate the way we operate. We're programmed to either have an understanding or not have an understanding of where we are in the world, whether we got our stuff together or not, and then make those choices from now. So human beings got to choose to do better. Black folk got to choose to do better.
Yeah, well, let the parade continue, I guess.
Hey, you close the gap with intention of having a space where youngsters are ruled by our intentions as opposed. We once again, we agree, but folk have to make that choice to do real life stuff. All right, so let me put this on the screen. This the main video that we are reacting to, Dr. Jared Ball. Somebody said earlier that Dr. Jared Ball has a Jewish mother. So okay, so that would make sense for this conversation.
Jewish ain't a race.
I don't know.
As a half black, half white person, I think we all need a break from biracials.
100% disagree.
All of our top biracials right now, top down, are evil. Drake remains a capital P problem. Barack, Drone Papa Obama.
Drone Papa Obama?
Come on now, the numbers are there. He took the hope of a generation to use it to spirit bomb the Middle East. I have questions for you, Obama.
And we're only
got way more than questions for Obama, but I tend to agree. It's somewhere. I mean, I'm enjoying. These top biracials are not doing us any favors right now. Like, we need some, we need some help. Although, again, just to be fair to my own analysis, in this context, all popularity is fraudulent. So no group is getting a good an honest or fair or accurate representation at the most popular levels. But as this is going for we biracials, this is
This Black Friday gift cleans your retainer at the touch of a button. No brushing or tablets. Over 4 years ago,
talking about one race.
Half black, half white. We're talking colonial classic, original recipe. We've got
colonial classic, original recipe, and I appreciate the clarification. Black, white.
Right.
The traditional base binary. And I appreciate the clarification. And they take it to another level. There are other levels, but they take it to at least one more, which is important.
Things I think we need to work on. One, we whine about not being accepted enough by the black community. In my experience, this is not really a problem if you don't make it weird.
Well, you just look Mexican.
Exactly. I'm ethically. This is a great point, though. I have. So just quickly, I was thinking, yes, there's
that's a good point. But even the way, at least the way we see it edited here, the frame is the issue with acceptance with the Black community, not the white community. And I do appreciate that wherever there's an issue, it is in our desire to join the Black community. Why? Because of what we're running from.
And so I'm just stopping right there. Just let it breathe a little bit, because they said a lot. They said a lot of stuff. Like, look, I'm not biracial, so I'm not co-signing nothing they saying on that. We just examining them, talk about their experiences. Okay. But so they're getting into that being accepted by the Black community, almost as if it's talking about like a need to be accepted by the Black community. And so that's interesting that, you know, they're giving that experience, especially with the phenotypes as well. So,
I mean, first off, I can really appreciate the way Buddy is doing the content.
Yeah.
Like I can get down with it, because I do think like he's hitting it, but it's also entertaining. It's funny.
He's having fun with it. I mean, and he can do that. So
right. I mean, hell, anybody can do it. Look, man, all right.
What? Yeah.
No. Look, but because I do feel like America has gotten way too soft. Like, people should be able to talk. Let them talk. If I want to make a joke at my expense and your expense, then that's what I'm gonna do. And you can have a problem with it. That's what you're gonna do. That's cool too. But so in any case, I think I like the way that they're positioning it.
Yeah.
But they're still positioning it as if their problem is unique.
Yeah.
And it's not. We know why they want to be accepted in the Black community. We said that earlier. Yeah, Black people we set the standard for cool. Young people want to be Black because they rather be Black than white, because Black people are viewed as cool and socially acceptable on that level. But they set the standard, and white people are not. Go ahead.
I do think that's coupled with our open armedness as well, because they kind of already know that black folk gonna let them in, because everybody knows that. Because like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your racial, ethnic, or whatever makeup is. Everybody know Black people gonna welcome them in.
True. And honestly, I think we need to make everybody work for it. Honestly, if you want to be Black, right, you got to stand in the furnace. You got to get roasted and fight back. So I think that's where we go to it. But I do agree with the brother. I don't think anybody is getting fair representation, but I don't believe it's fraudulent. I think that there is a reason why certain people are pushed to the forefront. And there's a reason why masses of people get behind them.
Well, yeah. So we already know that America historically has used the biracial children to push them to the forefront to kind of represent the race. Because, you know, we had a video not too long ago, we're talking about how like the bourgeois class and some of these other classes of Blacks were created out of the children of the mixed race people from the slave and the slave master. So we already know that history is there. And so America already has a history of pushing either the biracial person or the very, very light-skinned person to the top. So that's what America does. Anything close to whiteness, they will promote.
And as Black people, we got to take our piece, and the Black representation we have is representation that we have chosen. So, because for as much as everybody want to call Meg Thee Stallion or Glorilla or all of these other women that are in hip hop right now plants, or they want to refer to the young niggas that are referring to themselves as YN, the thugs and goons, as whatevers, there's a large segment of the black community that stands behind them. So I think that's where we go. I do disagree with that comment that was just put up on the screen, though. I thoroughly disagree
This one?
with that. Yeah.
I've learned this through. If the man is a leader, a mangamum, nah, that's not true. History has shown us that that's not true. But
Now that might be true. Yeah, that might be true in some anecdotal situations that you've been in individually. But that's not true in mass.
But let's let these brothers finish wilding that though.
Because we know in which direction to run. So if there's any issue that needs to be dealt with, it's there, not with the white.
My racial insecurity with a mental exercise that grounds me. I call it the race war theory.
Okay.
All right. Say you are a mixed person, black, white. All right. Race war breaks out tomorrow, and I'm talking 1 seed, 2 seed, black v white.
Okay.
Right? What team do you think you're going to be on?
Me, I'm joining the black team.
You're going to be on the
See?
black team. Right?
Great.
The whites aren't taking you.
Oh, the default.
And see, that's another aspect. That's another aspect to look at. But let them finish this statement, then we're gonna talk.
I'm talking about getting drafted in the race war. You're gonna be on the black team. Find solace in that. This is honestly my second point as biracial.
So my only issue with that, not that I disagree, is the increased, encouraged effort that has been made and is being made to have the black community stand at the door and say no as we show up during the race war. Because I have always had something very similar. At the end of the day, when the clash occurs, I understand what team I want to be on. I'm going to try to be on. But I do feel like and think I'm observing at least the effort to get more in the black community to say, well, you can't, you're out of luck.
Well,
but again,
so he's getting that gatekeeping though, and that's one of what, once again, black people don't gatekeep nothing. But they're talking about like in a race war scenario, who you're going to be drafted on, what teams is taking you. And Buddy said, well, you know what team not taking you. So in that scenario, so you have Dr. Jared Ball saying there needs to be gatekeeping on this end, and the other gentleman saying, well, you know what team is not going to take you. So that's leaving a lot of people in this ambiguous space.
Well, it's not he's not even allowing it to be ambiguous, because he's making the statement that the only option you have is black people, as if black people don't have an option.
Well, so, right. In that sense.
So, right. And so that's where you get into what's being spoken to about gatekeeping. And I am one of those people. I think the black community do need to gatekeep. But I agree with Nemesis. Well, yeah. I agree with what I assume is the implied message in that, which is that it needs to be cultural, not emotional.
Right. Right. No, that's right. That's right.
So I think, but I'm one of them people. If you cool with black people and you have a history of being cool with black people, I don't have a problem with being black people being cool with you.
Yeah.
My thing is, I think accepting and respecting the difference. You're not. Let's just be clear, and I might get some hate for this. I might not. Biracial people aren't black.
Right, they're not.
They're biracial.
Right, exactly. They are. I mean, they identify, a lot of them identify as black, but they're not black. They're biracial. Exactly.
And the mere fact that they are automatically biracial is like or that they're automatically black is a continuation of slave narratives and slave codes.
Right.
So, and this brother on the train here looked like that's a train or a bus or something. He probably could pass for white.
He could pass for white, and the other guy could pass for some type of Hispanic Latino person. So
my thing is, why not have the biracial people do their biracial thing, and then they can be allies if they're allies. We could always use good allies.
Right. All right, this is what we're getting into now, because when it comes to black issues, progress, and solidarity, that's what they're getting into, like having to choose a side. So the gentleman on the train is saying, well, you don't have a choice. You're going to be rejected by one team and automatically drafted on this other team, while at the same time there is no racial gatekeeping on the black side. And so what checks and balances do we have to say, all right, well, these people are truly down with us?
But they don't even like, because from that statement is so like there's a third option too. If there's a race war in America, you could choose not to participate.
Right, but that's not the mindset, though. That's not the mindset. They're going off the mindset of I have to choose. So you like, and that fact, like, I ain't nothing I can do with that.
Yeah, like, cause it's not my, like, that's something that they have to deal with internally. Me as a black man, if there's a race war kickoff, I don't have a choice. Right.
But now so we're talking ideal and identity versus actual reality, though.
Well, in this comment that's up on the screen here, I don't like bloodline and genetics. That they got bloodline and genetics from both sides.
Well, no, that's because earlier was talking about people choose black because it's because of coolness, and she's saying it's about bloodline genetics. Yes, it's about bloodline genetics for us, but for everybody else to choose black, it's because of the coolness in black.
Ain't nobody thinking about blood, like, and yeah, okay. So if we want to be intellectual about it, we could be intellectual about it. But if we're being real about the way people are actually processing, kids and young people are not thinking about bloodlines and genetics. They're thinking about social acceptance and coolness. So that's the frame of reference that we're coming at it from. We're not thinking about it from the mindset of 30, 40, 40, 50, 60-year-old individuals that have spent a lifetime studying this stuff and have a different vantage point of it. We're talking about teenagers who have not spent a lot of time really even contemplating the meaning of their own existence. They're just moving in the direction of whatever feels best.
Right.
Ergo, cool. And let's also not play this game like we don't understand what cool means.
We know what it is. We know why people who are not either fully black or not black at all, why they choose Rachel Dolezal. Rachel Dolezal just one, it's an anecdotal example, but it's an example. But we all have the white people that grew up in our communities that was around us, and the coolness of us is what they were attracted to. But it wasn't the authentic blackness. It wasn't the struggle. It wasn't anything else that we gone through. It was the image, the outer shell of the blackness, the surface stuff that they found cool, that they was attracted to. But they were not somebody that we could lean on if something really went wrong. And that's the thing that we have to get down on. Like, if shit hits the fan today, who has our back? And what did Dr. Clark tell us?
Yeah, but it goes to the question, the title of the show. Black America does not have a biracial problem. Black America has a gatekeeping problem.
Well, Black America has a Black America problem.
Yeah, we got a open door. We don't even have an open door policy. We don't have a door to close. People just walk in and walk out.
Right. And y'all, please hit that like button. I appreciate everybody being in here. Please hit that like button, y'all. Please make sure y'all have good conversations in the chat. I'm not saying anybody is, but make sure you keep it cool, keep it kosher, no arguing and stuff. Have good intellectual conversations. Let's keep this thing going. Please hit that like button. I have my poll up. Please hit that poll, and we're gonna let these gentlemen continue talking.
And we know which way to run. At least these gentlemen and I know which way to run.
But we have to be aware of how we look and how we present, and that's got to form how we participate in any discourse, right? Because look, like, do I experience racism? Have I experienced racism?
Somebody, I'm just curious where you all are getting the narrative that mixed blacks, mixed. The word mixed.
It's not a narrative.
Mixed. Your mother is white. Your father is black. That's not the same as black mom, black dad.
It's not a. Go ahead, Joe.
No, go. I said go ahead.
No, but it's not a narrative. The narrative that it's a fact. If you have, like Joe said, if you have a white mom and a black dad, you are half black, half white. You're biracial. You're not black. The idea that you are black is a slave narrative that says the whole one drop rule. We champion that like we came up with it. Like that's something we did. No. So, but that's not to say that being black, but even that, there's an undercurrent to that. This idea that if they're not black, we're attacking them.
It just said genetically speaking, that's incorrect. We're gonna move on.
No, because I do think that's a valid, not the argument, but I think that the context of if you're saying that they're not black, you're refusing to accept them, or you're attacking them, or you're doing something negative to them by saying that they're not black. I think that is a very harmful and limiting way to try to narrate the conversation, to try to put boundaries on the conversation. I don't feel like there's anything belittling about saying that somebody that is half black and half white is not black. They're also not white. They're mixed. Now they can choose to identify with whatever they want to identify with.
But that's what the argument really lies in. The argument really lies in how a person chooses to identify, not what their actual true genetic and phenotypical makeup is.
Right. And we're steering clear of that argument because how an individual chooses to identify is that individual's personal decision. So a black person could choose to be a mixed race person could choose to be black in identity and express those cultures, and that's fine. I have no problem with us accepting them. But they're not black.
Right. So yeah. Say here goes the white fragility and mixed skin. Y'all funny. Identity is made up now. Y'all, hey man, y'all funny. Let's let her keep talking.
Of course. But it would be disingenuous of me to posture like I have the same day-to-day experiences as a dark-skinned black person. It's just not the case. That doesn't mean that I'm not invited to the cookout. I'm at the cookout, but I need to be focusing on the side dishes.
You're just bringing potatoes?
I'm bringing mac and cheese.
You're bringing collard greens. Woo. Wait, so which one of your parents?
So I have to.
That's the assumption that he's invited to the
side dishes. That's
to the cookout.
The assumption.
The assumption.
What,
I'm not going to the cookout, Joe.
No, but why does he have that assumption?
Oh, well, we've been talking about that for the last hour.
So that's our fault that the assumption is, because once again, the assumption is I am not going to be welcome on this team. The team white will not welcome me because I have black blood in me. But I'm at this cookout though. I'm in this cookout. I know I'm 10 toes in this cookout. I know that.
There's the fear of asserting yourself into one group, coupled with the arrogance of believing that you're entitled to another group. It's a fascinating dynamic.
Yeah. So
shout out to Eve and the few of you who sent me this lately. I appreciate it. I've really enjoyed watching this. And yeah, I was trying to think because this is where I was thinking we need another layer.
Hold on. We're talking about experiences, and the experience for white dad, black mom is not the same experience for black dad, white mom. It's not. Let's be honest, because I don't know if y'all are familiar with this channel, but we tell the truth over here.
Of the particulars. They're about to get to another important one, but like what I would bring, like the bagels and lox.
Black and which one's white? It doesn't matter.
It does matter. I'm black dad, white mom. Sorry, y'all.
Why is that a sorry?
Black dad, white.
I know. I've had this similar experience. It does matter. And yes,
See?
black dad,
See?
white mom.
See,
and
they even saying it. They're saying it out of their mouths. Stop being emotional with these conversations. They're saying it out of their mouths. Stop trying to be offended for other people.
again, similar apologies.
How long it takes a beginner like my dad to go from beer belly to get ripped again with.
Mom has a certain reputation in the biracial community. Black mom, white dad.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
And look, it's not all bad. We got a lot of good.
I don't know about pretty cool, but definitely cooler and much more accepted. And then and then, you know, obviously part of it, at least, is the major part of it, obviously, is that the mother is the carrier of the child at the end of the day, the deliverer, the carrier, and more likely to be the primary parent, making the connection with the community in some ways more natural, especially when there's a single parent situation and the father's not involved. If the white father leaves, in terms of the relationship with the black community, it's not an issue. If the black father leaves, it leaving the white mother with the child and the black community, that's a very different situation. And white women in the black community stereotypically, and obviously put it in the comments, stereotypically do not have the best relationships. Difference is important to note, and I think they get it largely right here.
Go ahead.
I just want to double back and double down. I don't believe it's the physical carrying of the child and all of that. I think it's women, mothers typically are the ones that impart culture. They're the first teachers.
Right.
So in situations where a black dad is having a child with a white mother, if he wants his child to be more culturally aware in terms of being in black spaces, he's got to take a hands-on approach early on.
Well,
he's got to be the primary.
He like 9 months late with that thought process too, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I don't think it's that. I don't think it's the whole carrier of the child thing. I think it's whoever is the imparter of culture. That's where the child is going to lean. It just so happens that in America, the primary imparter of culture is the mother, typically. That's fine.
No, that's right, because when I was in Walmart a couple weeks ago and I was examining the young lady going off on the phone, and her mother was white. But all of the young lady's mannerisms and everything that she was exhibiting, her look and everything, screamed not just black woman, but hood black woman. But we know that the everyday culture that she is immersed in on a regular basis is not that what the physical outlook or the projection of the behavior is. I think that goes back to that identity issue. It's like, my mom is white, but I identify as black, and this is how I believe black people behave. So, yeah.
You want to give them their flowers.
We got Zendaya. We got Halle Berry.
Now, this is the part I'm not co-signing. This part.
Oh,
Zendaya, Halle Berry.
Sorry, somebody asked a question earlier about the leaders. It says no. It was
Why
about.
is he claiming Zendaya and Halle Berry? What's that about?
I don't know. I'm gonna back it up a bit, but I think somebody asked a question about mixed race people being chosen or being put in leadership positions. If I remember the question correctly, it was asking about mixed race people being in leadership positions in the black community. And my thing to that, historically, from what I've seen, a lot of leaders for the black community, whether they were mixed race, fully black, not black, or whatever, usually are placed. Most leaders of the black community that are like the national leaders, those are leaders that have been placed as leaders in the black community. Those are not necessarily grassroots leaders or leaders who came up through the ranks. So I will say that. So for a lot of if you're going back to like the Obamas and the Drakes and all these other people who are classified as leaders, most black leaders on a national scale are appointed by people who are not of the community.
And it's always been that way. Like you said earlier, we go back to the Great Compromise of 1877 before the Black Codes really shut down Reconstruction. A lot of those black people that were being elected into office and whatnot, they were biracial. So there's always, and I think that that's twofold. One, I do think black people have a colorism issue that we don't want to address, really, where we do prefer seeing lighter skinned people. And then, of course, we know white people view fair skin as safer.
Yeah.
So it's on both ends. It's coming at pushing them to the top.
Right.
We got Halle Berry.
Now, this is the part I'm not co-signing. This part, the Zendaya, Halle Berry part. I just don't know enough about their politics, their overt presentation. This is where I would want to make a sharp cut, and for me, shift to the left. So this part I'm not co-signing. So up to this point, I was pretty cool with it. This is not from my, I can't co-sign this. And again, for the most part, because I don't know enough about their politics. Halle Berry over the years a little more so, but this is where I'm drawing the line.
On page, Blake Griffin.
I don't know. Again, same thing here. Is it Blake Griffin just because he made it to the NBA? I don't know.
Yeah,
so I would have to know much more
for?
about who, and I don't know Jean Page. So forget
Say it again.
What is he naming these people for?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I'm trying to I don't know. I'm trying to figure out.
Give me. I just,
Well, because I don't know. I'm guessing trying to say these are biracial people who are seen as leaders. I'm guessing, but he said Drake and Zendaya.
He naming all athletes and entertainers.
What? Going back to what I just said. So if these people in his mind are the leaders, these are people who are always appointed. So that goes back to a mentality. Kush, oh, my man Kush is in the building. What's going on, Kush? I appreciate you for being a moderator. Hey, y'all get out of pocket. Kush gonna handle y'all. So I appreciate you being in the building, my brother. Go ahead, Pat. My bad.
You were talking.
Oh, I was. But no, like the celebrity mindset, right? They are not leaders. You're right, Nemesis. They're not notable biracial people, popular biracial people, celebrity biracial people who are not leaders. But who are the leaders in the black community? Celebrities and popular people. So yeah.
So again, I'm just delineating by, all right.
There's a lot of good biracials out there. In a world full of Tamaras, be it Tia, okay?
I wasn't aware of all of this discourse, but I'm glad I'm now tuned in.
Get these likes up.
This was pretty cool. I appreciate this. And I'll put the link to it in the show description if any of you haven't seen it, want to see and follow the people that put this together. I'm not mad at it, at least as a premise, as a starting point.
But he didn't say been jealous or nothing.
Huh?
He didn't even say been jealous. I mean, been jealous is black mom, white dad. So never mind.
Right, but I mean, first of all, I don't know who those gentlemen are, but we're not gonna get around it. Like, and you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing wrong, right? You know exactly what you're doing wrong. You're trying to be logical. You're trying to make sense of the conversation fully, especially that latter part of the conversation, right?
Yeah, I really am. And I know that's where I'm messing up. Because I'm like, Casper the Friendly Ghost, Johnny Depp, I can name random people too. Like what are you talking about?
Right. So that's by design, celebs and athletes. Right. What it says, that's stupid because you have black kids who grew up in the hood but act hood and don't have a relationship to the hood. I'm not sure what that comment is in response to. What is that comment in response to specifically? But
yeah, because in that comment is I mean, it's a question, I'm guessing, but I don't know, maybe the context is off, but it also doesn't mean anything. Black kids that don't grow up in the hood act hood because that's what they see on TV. That's the music videos. That's everything else. Like, black culture is promoted as hood culture. So
right.
I don't get that. Joe, this is why I just be trying to do live. You flashing these comments up on the screen.
Messing you up. Messing you up.
What was that last one?
It says, why are you saying black kids automatically get good because they are black? Mixed kids could also have. What?
Who said that? All right. See, this is why I don't be in the comments. Because I don't even know who said that.
I don't know.
Did you say that while I wasn't listening?
I didn't say that. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe she's not responding to us. I'm not sure. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
But you know,
that's true. Could not be responding to us.
Yeah. So, but that they are funny. They are funny. When I saw that video, because like I say, the experience that I saw in Walmart, and just thinking about all the other experiences that I've saw here in Tallahassee, and I start thinking of all the people that I know, black dad, white mom, and then come across this video and hear those gentlemen having that conversation, especially with the phenotypes that they have, and I was like,
Yeah. I was laughing at that too when you mentioned the phenotype, because I'm like, if I'm in the middle of a race war, I'm in the trenches with my rifle, and either one of them come running towards me, they might get shot. Because look, y'all are out of uniform. I don't know. It wouldn't end well.
Well, and so even to this talking about a race war and a global race war, I mean, black people, we're going to be we're not ready for any type of war. Anyway, let's just say that we're not ready for any type of war. No. Anyway, with any type of people like that. But if something does happen and we're talking about people who are going to align with us, I mean, I think we got to go with the premise of, hey, we need to make sure we take care of us first. We need to make sure our stuff is together.
Yes. And that's the thing, right? Like, black people, all of the clips have borne it out. Black people in America have a different experience from from biracial people in America. It is different. I don't think it's particularly unique or we're in a way where you can't conceptualize or understand what the other person is going through. I think we can do that. I think the experiences are similar enough. But I think, and when I say gatekeep, I think black people need to gatekeep black culture from black people too.
Well,
I don't think this is just, I just want to make that clear. I'm not saying we need to just keep out biracial people, period. I'm saying anybody that's not moving for the betterment of the black community needs to be put out of the community. I don't want to be in the trenches with somebody that could turn around and shoot me, period. And so I think that's where I go with it. But black people ain't ready for no forms of confrontation whatsoever. I agree with that, Joe.
Now we're saying, if it don't matter, black dad, white mom, white dad, black mom, it don't matter. If you are you're not black, why are you black? I'm not understanding why that's hard for people to understand.
The seed don't matter, and you do understand why, because you said it earlier. This is the fragility at work. The seed don't matter. You got half of your chromosomes. Half of your DNA came from somebody that's not black. This whole garden analogy is it works when it works, but when it don't work, it looks silly. And that's what it's turning into. Like this whole seed concept. Yeah. Like your dad planted you and your mom like you was a grapefruit or something, like you was a watermelon or something. Like, that's not how this works.
Yeah, like if you I don't know, man. I don't know.
But again, we're not disparaging biracial people. I'm not, anyways.
Well, people are hearing what they want to hear, and it's not our fault. It's not our. We said what we said. You could run the tape back. What you hear, what you thought you heard, is your fault. Hit rewind. This is live. You can hit the button and go back and actually listen to what we said, right? So if you in your feelings about what you thought we said, that's your problem. That ain't our problem. But yeah, whatever.
All right, cool. I just respond to whatever you put on the screen. You already know.
I get it. I get it, but I'm just saying, like, once again, like we are grown, we're adults, and we have real conversations over here. And on all the shoulders of giants, I say it every week. We don't care about feelings over here. We care about progress, right? And so we're having real conversations, so we can put real things on the table to have a real analysis of things that's going on, because these are real things that's happening in our community. And we do have a growing group of mixed race people, and these people are having real identity issues in America. And a lot of these people are, well, just by default on the black team, but identifying as black. But it's just, these people are still existing in this environments that we are existing in, and we might want to know what's going on around us. It's all just an examination to know what's going on around us, who our neighbors are. Why we can't examine our neighbors?
We can't examine nothing, Joe. Black people don't examine. That's where you messed up at right there.
Hey. So you know, trying to see what's really going on out there in the community. So I got one more I want to show. One more video. This one is pretty interesting. This black children with white moms are sharing what it's like for them. So that's the title of this video. We like that beat.
Remind me of like Eminem and his prime.
A lot of people, including me, have white mothers who do not talk about their blackness during their childhood.
White moms or non-black moms can't show you a perspective like how black moms can. And that's not their fault, but we have to find that perspective on our own.
Mixed children who have white mothers tend to be more exposed to internalized racism and colorism because of the lack of intersectionality among white feminists.
People are like, yeah, children with white moms tend to be
No, go ahead.
a little anti-black. And I was like, shoot, I got a white mom. I will admit that there was some definite anti-blackness like stuff when I lived with my white mom.
And my grandmother sees my brother's shirt, and he's wearing a shirt that looks just like this with Malcolm X and the rifle. And my grandma's like, really? Malcolm X with a gun? So violent.
We live in a predominantly white area in a country that's controlled by whiteness. The information that you receive about black people from society is all just stereotypes. This is what can cause them to begin to see their blackness in a negative light, because no one at home is mentioning their blackness and how it's powerful and beautiful.
This is a Facebook post from my uncle. You can pause to read if you want, but basically he was saying that he'll kill any Black Lives Matter or Antifa protester if defund the police were to actually be achieved. He knows that I'm very passionate about Black Lives Matter and have always been attending or organizing protests. So when he says stuff like that, he's directly threatening my life.
So many commenters were saying things like, oh, I didn't know my culture. I have a white mom and I didn't know my culture. Why would you expect a white woman to teach you about your black culture? Where was your black father? And the issue is misogynoir, where some black men, not all, but some black men are only with white women because of the closer proximity to whiteness, and they put down their own women and own culture as a result. Us mixed kids need to combat misogynoir as well as...
Go ahead.
Because we're just seeing this on display over and over and over again. The assumption, right? Why aren't any of them talking about learning about their white heritage? Why don't they have any desire to learn about their white heritage?
Why? Because what we said earlier. Bloodline
and genetics.
Well, according to Janetta, we don't understand genetics. So, but what we said earlier, no, you're right. Out of this third video, of all the videos, nobody showed a dire need to really dig into their white history and learn their whiteness and embrace their whiteness. But I think listening to them, I think internally that they know why that they're not exploring that, and I think it's for them a sense of, this is the group that's not going to accept me, so why would I learn them? I want to learn the group that would accept me.
Because that's a part of who you are. And just as you got all this vitriol for your white mom for not teaching you your culture, where's that vitriol for your black dad?
I think but that was that very, very, very first video. That was just that one person, that very first video that we showed where the young lady had vitriol for her black dad. Was it the first or second? One of them clips, she had vitriol for her black dad for not teaching her about, well, it was a bit different because she had vitriol for her dad for not teaching her about white supremacy rather than black culture. So it was a bit different.
My own personal view is you can't be whole, healed, and complete unless you can accept all of who you are, good, bad, and otherwise.
No, I'm with you.
I can't vibe with any of these anybody that, like, wherever you may come from, that have a whole side of themselves, genetically speaking, that they don't want to explore.
Right.
You're never going to be a whole person. Why would I want you on my team?
Well, now you stop asking real questions, Patrick. Stop asking real questions that you know that we're not asking, that we're not even thinking about. Because now you're going back to saying, okay, well, if I have the single person in front of me, and this single person is indecisive about who they are, everything about them, but they're pledging their allegiance to me. Black people not thinking about that. Black people, all that person have to do is be cool, dance, sing, do something we like, and they own the team. They at the cookout. Going back to Buddy invited Buddy bust down the cookout though. I know I'm gonna be at the cookout. If you're saying that, that's because you understand the culture and the dynamics of how these people are set up. You understand how black people operate. He know that enough. He know that much enough about his black side that no matter what, Big Mama and them gonna take me in.
But I even question that part. I don't think that's even the part of their gene. I mean, Hillary Clinton keep hot sauce in her bag. It ain't hard. You know, Bill Clinton played the saxophone on Arsenio Hall.
But that's what I'm saying, though. They understand that. Everybody understands that.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't even give them the credit of saying that that's an understanding they have from their black side. Everybody knows how to get in good with black people. Everybody does. You know, sometimes they overplay their hand, like Kamala did with the whole Meg Thee Stallion thing. So, you know, sometimes they go a little bit too far.
Right. But
they all know how to do it.
Well, and the fact, going back to like what they call a Sleepy Joe, like when understanding how black people operate, when Joe Biden point his raggedy finger at the camera and said, if y'all don't vote for me, then you ain't black. Clear indication that they understand how black culture operates, especially people who help to social engineer the culture.
I mean, but we also got to keep in mind the same way that we're impacted by black culture, the what we see on TV and in the music and all of that, everybody else sees it too.
Right.
Everybody else hears it too.
But I think a lot of times we don't believe the broader world sees it. I think a lot of times we believe it's just something internal with us.
Oh, well, I've told you that. I think black people have a huge complex when it comes to our scope, our belief. Black people are arrogant. I believe that. as a culture.
Yeah.
We are an arrogant culture. We think, and we're a self-centered and entitled culture. We think we're the center of attention. We think we're the center of the room. We think everybody's always looking at us. We think we matter more than everybody else, which of course we do to us because we're us. But I think when you blow the lens out and look at the larger dynamics, I think that was a study a few years back, said 60% of white people don't have any black people in their circle whatsoever. The majority of white people don't have any interactions with black people, and what they see comes from the TV.
Yeah. So yeah. No, but also I think it's interesting. I saw it in the chat. I saw a couple people ask, well, what does it mean to be black, or what is blackness? I'm sitting there thinking at the time, so we're gonna act like we don't know what blackness is no more. We don't act like we don't know what it means to be black. So let's stop playing games because we're talking about a topic that deals with biracial people.
And that's moving the goalpost. So this is what I say to that. If you don't know what it means to be black, if you don't know what black culture is, if you don't know what it means to have a black father and a black mother and the importance of that, then you're probably not black, and that's cool.
Hey, it's my Clarence Thomas. Oh, my bad. Wrong comment. He said black is a frequency. Clarence Thomas is.
Like if you don't know what black is, you probably not black, and that's okay. That's cool. I'm not belittling nobody. I'm not. You can be great and not be black. I'm not one of them black people that think only black people can be great. And you can be of benefit to the black community and to oppressed communities around the world and not be black. I'm not one of them people either.
Yeah. I mean, but also like we got to stop lying to ourselves. We got to stop being emotional about it and all these things here. Black mom, white dad. Black dad, white mom. You're a mixed race person. You can choose to identify what you want to identify with, but you are a mixed race person. But like any other group, any other person from any other group or anything, it's your deeds and how you carry yourself and what you bring into the world, what you do for the world, what do you contribute to the world. So if you're identifying as black, how are you contributing to the black race? If you identify as white, how you contributing to the white race? If you identify as a mixed race person, how are you contributing to the society or America as a whole? We would never argue with somebody or tell somebody that they can't identify with what they want to identify with. That's exhausting. I'm not doing that. But just understand, like, you are what you are. And accept that. And if you have a problem accepting that, how can we accept you? As Pat said earlier, how can we fully accept you if you can't accept you? Why would any group accept you if you can't accept you?
Yeah. And I want to reiterate, because I've been saying it consistently for the last 10-15 minutes. And Joe, you just said it again so eloquently. Just because you're not black doesn't mean you can't be a benefit and be a wonderful, amazing human being,
right?
That is of benefit and of use to the black community. That's not what we're saying. You can still get down with us. That's one of the beautiful parts about black culture being as accepting as it is. You can still get down with us without being one of us. Matter of fact, you can become an honorary one of us if you get down with us. All I'm saying is you got to get down with us. Period. And not just when it's cool and convenient. You got to be black when being black don't feel good. If you're going to identify it and expect me to respect it, you got to do it when it ain't cool to do, when it's ugly, when you dealing with somebody trying to keep you out of a situation that you know that you have earned the right to be in. You got to still be black. If Rachel Dolezal had been doing what she was doing, took the backlash and kept doing it, I might be on here defending her. Hey man, she's still claiming that she's black through all of that.
I wouldn't act like her.
Get under that skin.
Yeah.
But I would be on this show right now. Like Rachel Dolezal is a paragon example of how you cannot be black but still be black.
Right. So with that being said, we're gonna start to shut this show down because we got some things to do. We got the rest of the day to go. And if I was on here by myself, we go further, but I got to be considerate of Pat's time. So our first live breakdown Friday, we had a good audience up in today. I think we reached max by 200, 300 people. So that's what's up. So my traditional shutdown, I like to give a shout out and thanks to my audience, my commenters. So Sandoval, appreciate you. Darren Smith, I appreciate you being up in here commenting. Brent James, I appreciate you. User, I appreciate you commenting. Life is precious. Thank you for commenting. Beverly Weston, I appreciate you. Sierra 1000, I appreciate you. Kush, you already know. Hey, they already know I mess up names. I butcher names.
Hey, go back and do that one again.
Nah, they already know. Look, I be messing up names. I be butchering names. They already know. Shut up. Hey, Kush, I appreciate you. First of all, Kush, I appreciate you tuning in, all your comments, and for being a moderator. I appreciate you. They say the real
FBA page boy.
Okay, one shout out, Luke Mine. Shout out to you. Thank you for being in here. Essence. Thank you of being the essence of her. Thank you for being in here. Life is precious. I said that. Darren Smith. Ngonia. Thank you for being in here. Brent James. It's over. I appreciate you. Big money life. Big money for life. I need big money for life. You know what I'm talking about? Mr. Know-It-All. Appreciate you. Will Gaga, I appreciate you. Spiritual TAF, I appreciate you. Shada, I appreciate you. Prince, I need glasses. Prince, I ain't gonna lie, I need glasses. So Prince, thank you for being in here. Ricardo, my main man, Ricardo Float, man. I appreciate you being in the comments as always. Thank you for being here on this live. I survived. I appreciate you. As always, Nemesis X, our OG supporter of the channel. Thank you. Nemesis been down with us for years, man. I appreciate you, brother. What to say? Hurricane, JW, Hurricane. Man, forget. Hey, man, look, I gotta go to the eye doctor.
What you gonna do when you have like thousands of people coming?
Hey, man, these are the people who are special. Don't be. See, you always judging me, bro.
I am.
You always judge me, dog.
I think the world need more judgment.
Door of L, I appreciate you. No, don't be judging me, dog. See, dog.
I think the world need more judgment.
Together we stand. I appreciate you. Guard Lil Z Live. I might mention your name. I need glasses. I keep saying it every.
Definitely, yeah.
Ramen noodle. Hey, some names lost. Some names lost.
Hey, that's a good looking bowl of noodles.
Ramen noodle packet.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, I appreciate you.
Nah, that's a fat comment too, though.
Yeah, that is.
All these isms.
Hey, you talking about on one of them videos playing that? Look at your face. Yeah.
I forgot.
Blaze, I appreciate you. Janetta, I appreciate you. Even though we disagree, I appreciate you. It's okay to disagree over here.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, we don't take nothing serious. What'd that say, Pat? I appreciate you for tuning in. I don't want to mess that up. See?
You calling me, man.
LS592, thank you for being here.
Is that a game?
I don't know. Glenn Dawkins, one time for you being here. I appreciate you. See, it'd be fun going back doing this, man. I know when they get a whole bunch of them, I ain't gonna be able to do that. But is it forever for more? Is it forever more? Thank you,
Lizzie.
Lizzie.
Yeah, that's the L.
Lizzie. Fancy Tiger. That's what I'm talking about. Hebrew native. I like to see these names too. Big Game Orenthal James. See, I can read that. Them big letters. Patrick Tyler. Patrick Tyler meet Patrick Irvin. Y'all have a Patrick off. Go.
Okay.
Who the biggest fan? Albert C. I appreciate you. Mesmer Aloofly. I appreciate you. And we almost back to the top. I think that's everybody. You know, I like to show love, man, to all my Ash, Shakir Whitaker. Thank you. Black 17, appreciate you. I think that's everybody.
Let's say Black T7.
Black Zionist, thank you. Yep, that's everybody. So, hey, man, look, I appreciate y'all for tuning in for this Breakdown Friday. Said I could have a mixed child if I didn't get my wake-up call. I'm not going to blame the kids for how they're coming up. Nah, you're right. You're right. I think, but going back to what we said earlier, I think parents have to start, period. I don't care. I don't care for black people. I don't care if you're having sex with black people, white people. I think we need to start in an ideal world. We'll be thinking and making better decisions before we make children, because the world the children live in, the experiences, your experiences, all these things, it matters in going into raising a child. The culture that they raise up, that they're raised in, matters. The people who raise them in that culture, it matters. And for a lot of these people, they're saying that their experiences weren't the best, or the racial confusion is something that they deal with on a regular basis. But just even in that, the black people need hey, forget you, man. I know how we get free. Just let
Yeah, I was tickled as hell. I'm in agreement with Nemesis on that. Joe, you are our greatest weapon, bro.
Hey, you win, bro. You win. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. But we do need to make sure we start thinking before we start procreating. I will say that. So I do not regret adopting the mixed child. He's perfect. I tried my best.
No, you shouldn't regret.
That you ain't doing it wrong. Yeah, you ain't doing it wrong.
Why would you regret it?
You contributing to society.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah. You guys do realize that there was a time when most people said we should stay with our own kind, and you would get ratio with dislikes, hundreds of replies saying that we all leave.
Yeah,
red.
we were on the internet producing content during that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, for
So,
real.
yes.
We've been rocking this about 10 years. So yeah. I love my people.
We're aware.
Say let the mixed kids be. We just let
absolutely.
Go back and watch from the beginning. We examine
they definitely not.
Yeah, go back and watch from the beginning. Hey, we got to be better adults, Door of L. We definitely got to be better adults. He says, I don't know one mixed person that like being mixed. That's interesting. You know what? That might be an interesting experiment.
I don't either, actually. And that's something we talk about.
There you go. Uptight. What's going on, my brother? What's going on? Hey, he'd be funny, man. Say was listening while frying some butter squash. There we go.
You ain't got no leftovers from yesterday?
I got some in the refrigerator from my pop's house. Nobody would knock you for having jungle fever. Hey, man, trust me, we do not care that much over here.
No,
we do not care that much. You should, hey man, I'm from North Florida. I'm gonna butcher your name. I done got that stage in my life where I put your
They
name.
disrespecting me. I'm from the same place.
Nah,
I ain't
stop pronouncing your damn letters.
Well, when I'm back home, I don't. I had to learn to enunciate.
Go watch the video from the beginning. And then that way, if you watch the video from the beginning, you get all the context.
They're not gonna watch
just the title. Just the title. Well, with that being said,
let them make comments.
Right. So with that being said, Pat, you already know what it is. As always, I appreciate you, brother. This is our first Friday breakdown Friday that's live. Shout out
to PC.
The PC, the big brother in the building. So he gonna be back cooking real soon. He had to take care of himself. But with that being said, y'all enjoy y'all Friday. Enjoy your family. Y'all keep doing what you're doing, progressing. And remember, the real work is offline in the communities. We come on here to inspire, to learn, but then we get into the community and make things happen. With that being said, love y'all, and we catch y'all on the other side. Peace out.